What's up, everyone? Donovan here with Martial Arts Business Made Easy, and this is the 90-day Black Belt Business Bootcamp. All right, so today we're going over Studio Sensory Package, First Impressions, Maintenance, and Staff Checklists. All right, so the big thing I want to talk about, now the first 3 weeks we're really diving into the mindset, and it might seem kind of redundant or silly just to spend so much time on a mindset. But I'm a huge believer that if you're not, mentally ready to take on the endeavors of being a business owner, you're just not going to be successful. So that's why it's the first thing we talk about is very important. All right, from here on out, we're going to get very involved in tactical pieces of your business. So things that I personally focus on with my teams and things that I truly care about. All right, so we're going to dive right in today. What is a sensory package? All right, a sensory package is the experience that someone has using all of their senses when they first come to your facility. It's basically anytime you walk into Walmart, it is repeatable, right? Anytime you walk into a Target, it looks the same, smells the same, feels the same, or at least it should, right? So any famous, professional, successful business out there is going to have this sensory package dialed in. A lot of people think Walmart smells the way it smells because of all of the product that's in there, but that's actually not the case. They actually pump that smell into the building so it smells the same. Same thing with Target, and they've done studies on this to make sure that, those smells are, invite people to make purchases. So it might seem silly, but these are things that big boxes are focused on, so I'm focused on them as well. So we want to go over our sensory package today. All right, guys, sensory package. Everything that can possibly be sensed or perceived in your school is we're going to go over today. So, what does your school smell like? Traditionally martial arts schools smell like a foot, or they smell like sparring gear. They smell bad. That is not the case anymore. Your school cannot smell like that. If your school smells like Taekwondo, we've all heard that before, you are wrong. All right. So I'm a pretty blunt person, but it just cannot happen. Okay. So even after sparring classes, we need to be able to quickly fix that smell in your school, because your kids are going to come in with smelly gear. How are we going to be able to make sure our school does not linger with that smell? All right, what does your school sound like? What are the sounds? If someone comes in, are their kids screaming? Are their kids yelling? Are their kids being disrespectful? Does someone hear music? Does someone greet them at the door? Does someone open the door for them? These are a lot of different things that we need to take into account. Big one, what does your school look like? All right, we're gonna dive in today. Some people might get some feelings hurt, but we'll see. Remember, guys, at the end of the day, all of this information here is not for me to judge your school. It's not for me to say that my school is better than yours. These are just things that I believe are very important when it comes to designing your business and designing what you want your business and your life to look like. All right, so when it comes to looking, how your school should look, it should be very professional, very clean, a very franchise looking business. The big thing it comes down to is what feelings are inspired when someone comes into your school. That's what all of this is. So the smell, the sound, the look, the feel, the reason we're focused on that is because what are we inspiring people to do? Are we inspiring them to work out, to be better people, to become the best version of themselves, to try something new? These are things we want to consider. All right, guys, so sight. When it comes to sight, there's a lot of things to consider. All right, the big thing is your school clean and inviting? All right, does the staff member that greets them look clean cut and professional? And we're going to dive deeper here. So when I say clean and inviting, is everything put away? Right? There's not a mop on the floor. There's not a vacuum on the floor. There's not stuff tucked away in the corners. We see that a lot in martial arts schools. People take paddles or shields or cones or something and just kind of tuck them away in the corner. Even if they're professionally tucked away in the corner, I still think it's a no-no. All right, does the staff member that greet them look clean and professional? When it comes to my school, when we're on the floor teaching, all staff members wear the exact same uniform. So if you are teaching that day, you will wear our staff uniform. It's in the Adidas 3-stripe uniform. If you are not teaching, you will take it off. So we have some of our staff members will teach throughout the day and then they take the final class. They take that uniform off because they are no longer as staff. So we have everyone that is working is wearing the exact same uniform. If you are a staff member that gets there before classes are beginning, all of my staff are in red polos that have our logo on them. So if it's before classes, everyone shows up in a red polo. If you are, once you're becoming a on-the-floor staff member, or if your job is solely to be on the floor, you can wear the uniform. But you have to be in the correct uniform at that time. So if you're a student taking class, Miss Rachel will be at the front desk. She can be in her red polo. If she's on the floor teaching, she has to be in uniform. And then if you're also a staff member that transitions out of teaching class to take a class, you have to take that uniform off and put either a regular uniform on or one of our t-shirts, but everyone has to be in uniform at all times. It's just a very professional look. When someone walks into our program, we're not, we don't look like we just rolled out of bed. Faces are clean cut. Hair is combed. The school looks good, smells good, feels good, and even the staff member's uniform is professional. These are things that a lot of other schools drop the ball on. It might even be something that your members don't notice. However, all those little details together make a better looking picture. All right, we're gonna dive deeper here, guys. So the training floor specifically, it should look like a franchise gym. All right, and I'll show you some examples here in just a second. Your business should look franchised. Although it's locally owned, it's personally owned, it should look like a franchise gym. The reason companies like Planet Fitness, Eco Fitness, 24-Hour Fitness spend a ton of time and money in their image is because there is a reason for that. Right? It has to happen. It needs to look like a franchise gym. People equate a franchise-looking gym to clean and professional. Right? They relate these small kind of dingy looking gyms to bacteria and all, just negative things. And especially when it comes to their children, right? They're giving you their most precious asset. You need to make sure that it's clean and professional at all times. All right, specific colors to look fresh and inviting. Make sure everything that you do is congruent in colors. So our colors are red and black at Charleston Taekwondo, and we have some white in there as well. We always have wooden floors, right? We have red and black mats, and then we always have a black accent wall. The rest of the walls are white, but everything is clean, fresh, and inviting, sharp corners. All of our gear that we use is all red and black. Everything is based around those colors. So you don't want to overdo it and make it look like a college frat house, like matching colors. However, everything needs to look clean and professional. Our Wave Masters are all, you guessed it, red and black. Our shields, red and black. All right, so everything needs to look professional. And if possible, everything needs to have your logo on it so that we know, it's just, again, hammering in your brand into your community. All right, guys, nothing on the training floor. All right, let me repeat, absolutely nothing on the training floor. So what do I mean by that? No gear. If you have paddles, they need to be tucked away into a shelving unit, and preferably a closed shelving unit. All right. If you have shields stacked on the floor, it does not look good. All right. If you went to your kid's room and a bunch of toys were just stuck in the corner versus being in a toy box, right, it looks different, it has a different feel. It's the same thing. We don't want clutter on the training floor. And when I first started, I did that. I stacked my shields in the corner, but hey, they were neat. Right? I put a little hook on the wall and hung my paddles, right? It looked clean. I needed a fan. I needed some airflow. I put a fan on the floor. No, guys, that's horrible. Okay, so looking back when I first started, I didn't know any better. I mean, like I said, I'm a clean person, so I made sure everything was clean looking. However, it's just not the best. It's not a franchise look. You don't go into Planet Fitness and see a bunch of stuff just tucked in the corner, right? Everything is, nicely put away. All equipment needs to be hung, stored, or stacked neatly. All right, so you can hang, paddles and shields and things on the wall if you want to. I will personally give you a couple different examples I think will be better. We had custom cubbies built for our spaces. So we basically had cubbies built. Like, hey, we know we need, 15 shields. How much space do we need for 15 shields? Plus, we can put the paddles on top and put all this equipment away. We had 2 custom cubbies built, and everything, when it's tucked away, it's just a black cabinet. So it looks really clean and professional. When people come in, everything is tucked away. All right, guys. So to show you some examples here, these are examples of, basic martial arts schools. And I think we could all agree that they don't look too bad, right? Like this is, everything's, the floor's mostly clear and everything's tucked away in the corners. But I have a problem with this. This doesn't look franchised to me. It doesn't look professional to me. Although I will agree it doesn't look messy, it definitely doesn't look good. Okay, so even though the Bosu balls and everything are stacked in the back over there, I get it, they're stacked, but it just doesn't look good in my personal opinion. All right, the shield stacked in the corner on the left picture, the bottom picture, even though everything's like symmetrical, I'm not really sure. So everything's symmetrical, but it's still just, there's stuff on the floor. It does not look good. All right, guys, let's take a different look here. I'm even give you a before and after. So the school on the left here, the top and bottom is a before and after this school. They did expand their location to make it slightly larger, so you can see this. But notice the first picture, right? Things are neatly hung on the left, and things are, the Wave Masters are in the back. It's actually not a bad looking school, right? Like everything's pretty clean in it. They even have like a little bit of a walkway there to the back. I probably would have just gone all the way wall to wall, but I think it looks good. The shields are tucked away on the wall and not bad. However, look at the bottom, right? A lot better. Because one thing you have to consider is the perspective of the parent. So when the parent walks in the first location, the top picture, right, what do they see? The first thing they see are the shields and paddles on the wall, and that looks messy. The Wave Masters in the back, not so bad, but the first thing they walk into is kind of clutter. Whereas in the second picture, they reversed it, right? So they put the Wave Masters up front. It's a clean, open floor concept. And then you can still see the shields and everything are in the back, but they're in the back, right? So everything here is a little bit cleaner from the parent's perspective, if that makes sense. All right, and then taking the pictures on the right here, I think these are absolutely gorgeous schools. The top school is actually one that we're using to replicate for our current program. We use the same exact red and black Swain mats. It just looks professional. The bags are neatly hung. There's nothing on the floor that is not being used. And then the same thing in this other location down here at the bottom. The blue and black floors here. Just look at it, guys. Padded walls, padded floor, some nice, metals, things on the wall. But again, even the metals there, they're professional looking, right? So this school obviously competes in something, most likely judo or jiu-jitsu or something like that. So they're competing. They're putting their medals on the wall, but they're professional looking. The days of just like stacking trophies and medals in the window is over. Like, please don't do that. It looks so unprofessional. And we even have kids that come in that see our trophies occasionally, that will see a trophy at our school and they'll go crazy, like, oh my God, I want a trophy. This is awesome. It's still not the image you want, right? In my school, I have some of my most precious medals: Korea Open, Nationals, Mexico Open, different medals that I won. I have them put in a picture frame and a picture box, and I have them professionally done like the bottom right image. That I think is okay because parents can see your successes. Some of you guys in this group have, amazing backgrounds in martial arts. I think it's definitely great to show that off when it comes to pictures and your medals neatly hung. But just having stuff on the wall is a huge no-no. Remember, guys, simplicity is better. Simplicity is better. All right, guys, so front desk lobby here. Your front desk and seating area is typically the first thing that people see. All right, it needs to be very clean, organized, and thought out. So I'll let you know, when we first started out, guys, I just needed to fit a lot of people in a small area. I had our like kind of red dingy carpet when we first went in, and I needed a lot of space for people, so I ended up putting like metal bleachers in our school. And to be honest, it just like, looking back, I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing? But I needed to, it worked at the time, I needed it. And then I sat down with my coaches and my team and my staff and just thought like, okay, how can we make this cleaner, more professional, and better? So we had custom cubbies built in. We have new custom cubbies being built for our new location. Everything needs to be thought out. So not only having like custom seating, it doesn't need to be custom seating, but it needs to fit your space. And the reason I say custom is because we wanted it specifically for what we wanted. If you have seating, that's fine. It just needs to be comfortable. It needs to look good, and it needs to be functional. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. We double up our seating as shoe storage. So we're being very functional, very efficient with our space. No permanent fixtures, you need to have permanent fixtures, no folding chairs. So we see this a lot of times, just red metal folding chairs from Walmart. It just doesn't look good, guys. Folding chairs, I know they're simple and efficient because you can put them out and take them up. Does not look good. All right, you need permanent fixtures. When you go to, most like nail salons that are higher end or spas, right? They are any type of area where you're going to have people sitting around. Think about when you go to the movies, right? Any type of area where you have people sitting down, they are not sitting in folding chairs. They're sitting in permanent fixtures. So couches, benches, something that is comfortable and functional. All right, guys. And again, less is usually more. Less is usually more when it comes to your school. You don't have to have stuff on the wall just to have stuff on the wall. All right, you don't have to have medals and plaques and all this stuff in your parents' area. I'm a huge believer in less is more. Okay, so make sure everything is clean, neat, put away. There's nothing just kind of out in the open. Even when it comes to our parents' area, like our new location, we built in like cell phone chargers, like stations, so parents can come in, charge their cell phones while their kids are taking class. Or if we have our adult members come to class, they can actually, if it's a 45-minute class, they can tuck their phone away and have it charging the whole time while they're in class. So again, we're thinking like next level. What is a next level service that we can provide for our members and for their families? So good looking fixtures, good looking seating, and then also cell phone charging stations. We're trying to really just make it amazing for our members. When it comes to your school, we talk about the colors here before I move on. You can have your colors, whatever color combination you want. If you're not sure what to do, paint your walls white. Paint your walls white, have one accent wall, and make it clean and professional looking. All right, I would prefer not going eggshell for the tint, I guess you would call it, because when you do that, it ends up becoming dirty and it's hard to clean. All right, if you do like a higher gloss, it looks a little shinier. In my opinion, it looks a little more professional, and it's a lot easier to clean when you have a lot of students come through. So, if you're not sure what to do, paint the walls white. Clean and professional is always better than a bunch of just like random colors that are on your wall. All right, guys, so here are examples of front desk and kind of parents' areas. You can see here on the left, all right, so the chairs they're neatly stacked, right? They're not even the metal folding chairs. They're the upgraded white kind of comfy curved chairs. No, guys, this is still wrong. And the reason that is because I get it, you can put a lot of people in a small area here. Everyone that's ever had folding chairs in their area like this, tell me, look at the picture on the left and then look at that picture on the bottom right. Because that's what happens, right? The parents will move the chairs because they can. And after every class, you're going to have to go back in there and re-straighten up the chairs and move them around. People will just move the chairs because they can. So the the left picture here, even though it looks good right now, this is not in the middle of class. Because what happens is on the bottom right picture over here, this is what it looks like in class. Parents start moving the chairs. Next thing you know, they're not in order. And then someone's trying to, look behind someone, and then people start standing. And then now we have all these chairs that are just messy, and people are standing anyway because they can't see anything. It just doesn't look professional. All right, hopefully in the top right here, no one's school looks like that. This is just really bad. Some random like brown couch with a padded folding chair, a regular folding chair, a steel folding chair. This is just really bad, guys. No matter what you're doing, it needs to be congruent. It needs to be the same. So if you have random chairs just in your school, get rid of them. All right, if you can get some custom little benches or something made, we even use just the ones from like Target and Walmart, like the cube. You've probably seen like the 9 cube stations that you can use for like cubbies. They make like a 2 cube, a 3 cube, and a 4 cube that's on one line. And what we do is we use those for our seats because they're actually really sturdy. They don't break the bank. And we can also use them as storage. So I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. This seating is not good. All right, guys, when it comes to the front area, check out this picture on the left. So this is actually their front desk. This is not my school, but I think this is a really clean look. They got a professional logo on the wall, a little bit of a pop accent wall there. Tiger Academy is in a raised font, so it looks really good. The desk looks professional. That looks like a place that I would want to take my child, to be honest. They have the nice lights that are hanging, a couple of pictures of, maybe some masters or something on the wall here on the left. I just think it's very clean and professional. The top right picture is my dream school. I think this place looks amazing. You can see the training floor in the background over there, but check out this lobby, guys. Like clean, white, professional, cut edges. Looks like a grappler, judo, jiu-jitsu person over here. They have some medals hanging, all matching frames in the white here. Probably in Hawaii or somewhere. They got the surfboard up with the TV going on with some different matches playing. This is a very, very professional looking school. I would be really happy to take my kids to this place. And then the bottom right here is a school that's here in America. You see how his benches, the reason I have this picture here is it's very simple, right? Gray mats, gray wall, seats against the wall. This is how we use seating in my space. So like I said, this guy had the benches made, and this is a very similar thing that we did in our current location. But with our new larger location, we needed more storage and more seating. So we are actually, like I said, we're getting the benches from Target. And we're just actually building them and then attaching them to each other, and they'll just go along the wall just like this. So It's something really cheap and easy that you can do to add clean edges and clean looking storage to your facility. If that guy in the bottom right picture just put a bunch of folding chairs against the wall, that would look really messy and it would bang up the walls. It just wouldn't look good. Whereas, these benches right here look professional. I think it's a clean, simple, good look, right? Not a lot of colors, nothing fancy, but it looks good, looks clean. All right, guys, Pro Shop. This is a big item. This is a big topic for a lot of people. What to sell, how do you sell it, all that good stuff. All right, guys, only display items that you actually sell. I think it's ridiculous when I go to schools and they sell like keychains and like little teddy bears and switchblade knives and all this stuff. Like, guys, why? You don't sell that stuff. If it's sitting there over 2 or 3 months, get rid of it. Run a sale and get rid of all of it. Only display items you sell. Again, everything needs to be efficient. You don't need to sit on a ton of product. All right, so keep things in your school that you sell. Things that we sell a ton of are t-shirts. We keep a lot of t-shirts on hand so we can sell those. We sell uniforms, we sell sparring gear, we sell sparring bags, we sell rebreakable boards, and we sell belt racks. And really, guys, that's about it. We do some specialty items we sell around the holidays because people are more likely to buy things around the holidays. But typically throughout the year, we don't just keep random stuff in our pro shop. We want it, again, clean, simple, professional. Do not have cluttered, old, dusty items. That's the best too. When you have all these items on the shelves that aren't selling and then they start to collect dust, like why do we think someone's eventually going to buy that, right? It's never going to happen. Nobody wants to buy books from a martial arts school. Nobody wants to buy DVDs of their forms. That's just my honest opinion. I think keep it clean, keep it professional. If someone wants to buy a DVD of their forms, let them know that they can see all of that on YouTube for free and you come out on top anyway. Yeah, you don't sell a $20 DVD, but you just provided a better service for your member, and we know that they don't need this, right? They need to practice, and they can watch the stuff on YouTube for free. So don't have cluttered, old, dusty stuff dusty items on your shelves. Items should be clearly labeled and tagged. So I'm a big believer, if you can, tag each item, just like you would in a store, right? You want to buy a t-shirt at a store? What do? You look at the price tag on it, and it has an individual price tag. You can buy those little price tagging guns. You can actually buy them online on Amazon. You can tag your own items. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just make sure that everything is clearly labeled, whether that be putting a label, right next to the items, or maybe we're putting, one mass label sheet on the wall. The only thing about that's kind of bad is the fact that they have to, compare back and forth. And I get it doesn't take long. However, again, just trying to be more efficient and better. If you can, clearly label and tag each individual item, or at least that area. All right, guys, students should be able to clearly see and touch items. If you have a desk in front of your pro shop and everything is neatly tucked away back there, you will sell less items. Okay, you will. They can't see it, they can't touch it, they don't want to buy it. All right, it's the same thing when it comes to when you go to a store. What if I said, hey, there's a leather jacket over there behind that case? You can't really see it or touch it, but if you'd like to buy it, it's $300. Like, you're not going to buy it. You want to be able to see it. You want to be able to put it on. Same thing with t-shirts. Parents want to be able to grab them and feel the material. They want to be able to put it against their son's chest and see, is this the right size? When it comes to sparring gear, they want to see it. They want to be able to feel the quality that they're buying. So, if you have things behind a display case or something behind a front desk where they can't clearly get to them and touch them, then you're going to just lose out on potential revenue because they want to be able to see it and touch and feel the quality. And that kind of takes me right into the next point here. Items should not be behind the front desk or in a display case. All right, we just talked about that. For example here, all right, so the picture on the left is really not bad, right? Like everything's, pretty clearly put in there. It's neatly tucked away. The problem I have with it is just, again, it's behind this front desk. Like, how do I even get there? I'm going to have to walk around the front desk. Think about when you go shopping in a store. Do you ever just want to jump right behind the front desk to grab the hat or grab the keychains or I don't know, whatever, watches that are behind the case? When something's in a case and you're at Belk and maybe you're looking at a watch with your wife or your spouse and the lady comes up and says, hey, can I take something out? And you're like, no, it's okay. Why? Because even though you're potentially considering buying it, you don't want to have the hassle of them take it out and then now they're staring at you, looking at it, and you're checking it out, debating on it. You really just wanted to be able to see it and kind of walk around and think about it, without having to make a quick decision. But now it's awkward because you may or may not buy it, but you might feel silly if you don't buy it because you had them take their time to open it. But my point is, is if we could skip that whole awkward process, right? So don't have anything behind the desk where people have to go around. Don't have anything in a display case where they rely on you to be able to see it and touch it. All right. So even though the left looks clean here, I'm not a huge fan because of the desk. And then also just the grid wall. I'm actually not a fan of the grid wall at all. I'll show you here in a second what I think does look professional. I think the grid wall just looks cheap to me. All right, and then the items on the right over here, these schools, this is completely wrong on so many levels. Even the top one here, even though you can, I guess, get there, that looks like there's a kind of a barrier. You see the little cube system, and then the chairs here. Even though they sell a ton of stuff, it does not, this does not look good. I would not, I mean, where do you even start over there? And then same thing in the bottom right picture. There's so much clutter, so much stuff. This is just a mess. People won't know where to start, what to get. Items should be simple, clean, professional. We only sell, 6 or 7 items, and these are the things we sell a lot of. And not to mention that's going to help you on the back end, so you're not sitting on a ton of product that you don't have to sell. When it comes to all of our Pro Shop gear, we keep t-shirts on hand, we keep uniforms on hand, we keep roughly 5 belt racks on hand, we keep roughly 5 rebreakable boards on hand. When it comes to sparring gear, we have a set on display that people can see and touch and feel and try on. But if you want your gear, we order it. So that way I'm not sitting on, child small, large, child small arm guards and then youth large shin guards. If they want something, we'll actually, we'll order it for them. And the cool thing is nowadays you can get things really quickly. The companies that we use, typically we order something on Monday, we have it by Wednesday. So we just let people know, if you decide you want to do sparring gear and you want to buy some gear, we will get it for you, and we'll have it before our sparring class. So guys, make sure everything in your pro shop is very neat and clean. All right, so here's some examples. Here are some options I think look really clean, and this is how we have modeled ours at Charleston Taekwondo and our location KickFit and even Frequency, the Pulse and CrossFit gym. This is how we model them. So check out the picture on the left here. You can see the pictures on the shirt, right? You can see the graphics, very professional, wooden hangers, right? No cheap plastic hangers, wooden, heavy, solid hangers like they use at stores, all right? Everything is just clean, neat, professional. Like that looks like, man, there's some stuff here that I might want to buy, and I can look through the shirts and shop through and feel the material. I can see if they have my size. You're going to do a lot better with something like this. The top right version is just basically a little bit bigger version of the picture on the left, a little bit different here. They don't have the gloves on display at the bottom like that, but they do have different shirts on display. You could easily do this with uniforms, with t-shirts, hoodies. There's a lot of different things you could sell. But notice how they're using slat wall. It just looks so much more professional. You can get these in different colors. You get them in plastic, in like particle board, wood, with metal framing. There's all kinds of different ways you can do this, but it just looks clean and professional. All right, the picture on the bottom right here, again, very clean, very professional. I'm not even sure what some of this stuff is, but it looks like something a kid would probably want to go check out, right? I'm not personally, I'm not a fan of the grid wall. However, I know if you already have grid wall and you're like, look, I don't have the money to invest in a new slat wall system, this, is a way that you can make it look more professional. It's not cluttered, very simple, very easy to read. All right, guys, hearing, sound. When someone comes into your school, the first thing someone should hear when they walk in your door is a welcome greeting from your staff member. We treat our business, I don't know if you guys have Moe's wherever you live, the burrito place. We treat Charleston Taekwondo like Moe's, and I tell all my staff that in our meetings. When somebody walks into Moe's, everyone that's on staff yells, "Welcome to Moe's," and everyone's just like, "Welcome to Moe's, welcome to Moe's." Everyone starts yelling it. We do the same thing at Charleston Taekwondo. I want people to know when they walk in, we know you're here. We're happy that you're here. We welcome them in and we use them by their name. So if little Johnny comes in, "Hey, Johnny, what's up, man? Welcome to Charleston Taekwondo. It's good to see you." And then immediately all the staff members will touch base with them. All right, all the staff members will say hello to them, especially our front door staff. So the way we do it, we typically have someone that's at the front desk or at the front door greeting them. If we have extra leadership team members on hand, we'll keep someone at the front door and just open the door for members as they walk in, just to provide an extra layer of service for them. And then we have someone right at the edge of the mat, another leadership team member, that when the kids come in, that tells them what to do. Hey, go ahead and take your shoes off. Find a cubby for your shoes. If you need help with their belt, that leadership team member's job is to help them tie their belt so everyone looks the same. Everyone looks professional and clean. Everyone just needs to have their roles. All right. So, do you have music playing? What type of music is it, and what's the volume set at? These are things you need to consider. If you come in, or a family comes in, and you're rocking, Drake or DMX at your school, probably not going to be good, right? You need to have something that's kid friendly. We use like Kids Bop Radio. Sometimes I want to shoot myself because the songs are kind of silly and redundant, but they just take famous songs that are out right now and make them kid version. It's called Kids Bop Radio. You can use a couple different things. There's Pandora. There's hold on, let me look at my phone really quickly. We have Pandora that we use. We also use Spotify, and you can also use Sonos and Fit Radio. So each of these are, about 10 to 15 bucks a month. Pandora, you can use the kid version. The only thing about the Pandora is they'll cut out the bad words, but sometimes they're still bad songs. So think about that. That's Pandora. You can use Fit Radio. That's something we use for the kickboxing school and we use for the CrossFit gym. It's really easy to use. We connect it to our Sonos system and we run all the classes via phone when it comes to music. Also, like I said, you can use Spotify. That's what we use at Charleston Taekwondo. We're actually going to switch over to start using Fit Radio for all our locations. But for now, you can use Spotify. It's like $8 a month, I think. And you can use kid-friendly version, and you can even, they have kid stations on there. Another thing is you want the volume set high enough that people can hear it, but not high enough that it's going to drown them out. So when people are coming in, we have it set on a light volume where everyone can still hear the music. We just want to kind of set the pace, set the tone for the class. And then while people are practicing, while we're greeting parents, there's just light music playing in the background. We'll take it down a little bit lower when we start class so we can make sure everyone hears the instructor. And then once the kids are actually taking class, we'll actually even have the volume pretty high. And the reason we do that is because we want to pump up the energy at the location. All right. When you answer your phone, are there people screaming in the background? Is there that loud music playing in the phone? These are things you want to consider. You don't want to do that. So there needs to be a way for your staff member that's answering the phone to kind of sneak away, whether it be a back room, whether it be an office, whether it be just stepping right outside. But you want to have someone be able to answer the phone professionally and be able to hear what's going on both ends. So the staff member should be able to hear what that person's saying, and that person should be able to hear the staff member and not get annoyed, right? How many times have you called someone and it's super loud in the background and your attitude immediately changes because you think they're busy, they're not listening to you. It's something that you want to take into consideration. When you're answering the phone, you're being professional, you're smiling when you're talking, and there's no background music or loud noise. All right, guys, smell are very, very important here. Often overlooked. Again, most schools smell like a foot. That cannot be us. All right, sense of smell is closely linked with memory, right? How many times have you been driving, you smell a plant or you smell a bush or a rose or a tree or something, and it reminds you of a childhood memory? All right, so more so than any of our senses, smell is closely linked with memory. All right, some people can actually think of smells and evoke particular memories, right? So what does that mean? I can even remember it right now, right? So I remember, my mom loves the smell of lavender. So I remember growing up, we always had lavender in our house. And now I can even think of that smell and it brings up like cleaning with my mom, like spending time with my mom as a kid. All right, the scent of an orchard in blossom, conjuring up recollections of a child picnic, for example, right? So there's times that, certain scents can definitely bring memories back. And I think we've all been there before. All right, so your school needs to be able to smell professional because what happens is if it smells like a foot, people will automatically start to negatively think about your school. And every time they smell something bad, they'll think about Kwan's Kick 'em Up martial arts. That smells horrible. All right. What your school smells like the first time someone enters has a huge lasting impression because it's how they're going to remember your school, right? Smell is so linked with memory, it's very important. All right. Use clean smelling automatic air fresheners. So if there's anything we learned in the last 3 weeks of classes or of this course, one of them is trying to make our life more automatic, right? Get more things automated so we're not having to worry about them. One thing we use at Charleston Taekwondo and we use at KickFit is Cintas is a cleaning company that comes in. Although we clean, right? I'm a big believer in your staff should be cleaning your school. You don't need to pay for a cleaning company to come in. However, just so my staff are not running around making sure, we're out of Windex today. I'll get Windex tomorrow. We don't have to worry about that. Cintas comes in every other week. They fill up. They give us, new mop bucket, new mop heads, new brooms. They give us new welcome mats at the front area. They replace our hand sanitizer stations. They replace our air fresheners. They basically replace all of the items that need to be replaced, and then they just update our cleaning supplies like toilet paper, paper towels, anything we need that involves, cleaning our school and making it clean and professional. They provide that for us every other week. It does cost about $70 each time. But, it's basically I'm paying for the fact that I never have to worry about having cleaning supplies at my studio. Everything is professional. We have toilet paper. We have paper towels. It smells good. We have a brand new rug on the floor, a welcome mat on the floor. We have enough cleaning supplies to clean everything. And the cool thing is you can actually change it. It doesn't have to be $70. If you want them to come more often, they'll come more often. If you need less product, it doesn't have to be that high. And one cool thing about them too is if they come in and you haven't used the product that you previously purchased, they actually won't even give you any more. So they're like, hey, you're good on paper towels. We're not going to give you any, so we're going to knock that off your bill. So pretty easy way to not have to worry about your cleaning supplies getting taken care of here. And the air fresheners are automatic, right? We want them in the bathrooms, in the training floors. Again, we want that consistent smell across our school. All right, guys, when it comes to first impressions, it's 55% appearance, it's how you look. 38% tone, how you're speaking to someone, and then 7% words, what you actually say. So tally that up, 93% of our first impression is how we look and how we sound to someone else. So it's very important that when someone walks in our school, we look professional, we sound professional. Right? The school is clean and inviting and very professional looking. Our staff has matching uniforms. They have matching polos or outfits, whatever they're wearing. Everyone has good haircuts. Those are things that you even want to talk about your staff when you bring them on. It's very difficult to have the conversation later than it is to have in the beginning. Are you okay with beards? Are you okay with mustaches? Are you okay if someone comes in and their hair is messy? How often does someone need to shave? How often does someone need to get a haircut? What's too long? Those are things that you're going to want to take into consideration even before hiring someone. What are you comfortable with and how are you comfortable with them looking? Okay. All right, guys, so the easy way to take care of all this is school maintenance. You want to create a monthly, a weekly, and a daily cleaning checklist. So what the difference of this is we have a daily cleaning checklist and we even have a spot checklist. So what a spot checklist is, we have classes typically 30 to 40 people per class, and we do 6 classes a day. So with all of those people filtering in and out of our program, things just get missed, socks get left behind, stuff gets left on the floor, people leave coffee cups. Between classes, we have a spot check, and again, that's someone's job to go through that spot checklist very quickly. It takes less than 10 minutes and clean everything up. If the front area needs to be swept, we'll sweep it out. If something needs to be wiped down, if there's fingerprints all over the front door, we clean everything up between every class. But it's a quick spot check just to make sure we're providing a great service. At the end of every day, we have a daily cleaning checklist. That's when we hit bathrooms. That's when we hit, basically everything on the floor. We also have a weekly checklist and then a monthly checklist. A weekly checklist would be an example, would be, cleaning your wave masters, wiping down your wave masters, wiping down your paddles, wiping down your shields. People are kicking these things. Kids have germs, adults have germs. These things need to be wiped down. If you play with dodgeballs, those need to get wiped down, pretty much at least every week, if not every day. And then a monthly checklist would be, an example of that would be changing out air filters, wiping down baseboards. If you have fans mounted on the wall, cleaning those, making sure they're not collecting dust. Something that doesn't need to get cleaned, obviously, every day or even every week. So we break it down. We have a monthly checklist, a weekly checklist, a daily checklist, and then a spot checklist between classes. Might sound like a lot. However, again, we're responsible with people's most precious asset, which is their child. We want our school to look professional. All right, inspect what you expect. And what that means is take a look at it. So they need a checklist. Whoever has this task, they need a checklist. You need to show them how to do it. Don't assume that somebody knows how to clean a toilet. All right, it just doesn't happen that way. I've had people, I'm like, hey, did you clean the mirror? They're like, yeah. I'm like, there's spots all over it. They're like, yeah, but I did clean it. You might have wiped it, but there's still dirt on it. It needs to be cleaned even more. So inspect what you expect. Make sure that, once every quarter we go through with all of our staff, we go through the entire cleaning checklist and I clean it for them. Or now Luke will do it or Rachel will do it. Someone will clean in front of the entire staff and show them exactly what the standard is. And then from there, don't just assume that they're doing it correctly. Someone should be in charge of inspecting it. So, for example, Luke is our GM of Charleston Taekwondo. Rachel is our office manager, and then we have other staff. We officially hired our 10th staff member yesterday, which I'm pretty excited about. But everyone has their cleaning roles. Everyone knows exactly what to clean, how to clean it, and then it's either Luke or Rachel's job to inspect it and make sure it was done properly. Because if I come into school and it's not done properly, they have to clean it, and I'm sure they don't want to do that, and that means that we have a fault in our system. All right, guys, again, place one team member in charge. It does not have to be a full-timer. It can be a part-timer. Hey, at the end of every day, Patrick or Jesse or whoever it is, come in, inspect everyone else. And if it doesn't get done properly, you have to clean it for them. Just like in food and bev, right? You always have your little cleaning checklist at the end. It might be rolling silverware. It might be, napkins or cleaning the dishes, whatever it happens to be. You have to get that inspected by the team leader before everyone else could leave. So it's the same thing in your school. And there are no shortcuts, no excuses. Get it done. If you have to clean the toilets, clean the toilets. I know sometimes we get stuck late at the school. It's 9 o'clock at night. We have class tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, and people are like, oh, I'm just tired. I know, but would you rather do it right now or have to come in early tomorrow morning and clean it, right? Just get it done tonight. Don't take shortcuts, no excuses. Clean your school and take care of it. Because what happens tomorrow when you come in early or you oversleep, but say you get there early and then a parent gets there early and then they have questions and now you don't have time to clean and now your classes are starting and your school's dirty. That, to me, is not acceptable. All right, guys, our homework here. I'm going to provide you with my staff monthly, weekly, daily checklist, okay? So, we're constantly tweaking these and playing with these. Use them as an example. You can steal them if you want. They're pretty specific for our exact locations. So use them as an example for you. And then, we're actually working on a different one right now. As soon as I get that done, my staff gets it done, we're going to upload it so you can check that out as well. All right, again, use them as examples to tweak for your facility. Just take what works, steal it, and change for yourself. All right, immediately implement this with your team. Okay. Again, our cleaning supplies are provided by Cintas. I'll give you guys some additional information. If you just want to hit up cintas.com, you'll be able to find out, find a rep and get everything set up and at least meet with them and get some prices done. But your homework for right now is clean your school, right? Make sure you're cleaning it and make sure that your staff is on board with how to clean it and make sure they have a checklist to follow. When we first started our new KickFit location, we had 2 other members come from the CrossFit gym that came over, and I assumed hey, they know how to clean a bathroom. They know they need to wipe down the desk and the seating every day. And honestly, it wasn't getting done. So at that point, we have to have the hard conversation. We sit down with the staff. Hey guys, the checklist is not getting done. Here's the checklist. I'm going to keep it on the front desk from now on, and make sure everything on this checklist gets cleaned before we leave today. So just to make sure we're all on the same page. And then also, guys, start taking a look at your school, okay? Start taking a look at your school. What can you change? What color, what wall needs to be painted? What needs to be updated, right? Do we need to change our colors? How can we make it more professional, all right? And also, the last piece of your homework here is going to be take a video walkthrough of your location. So we're going to take a video walkthrough of your school, and you're going to post it here in the group so everyone can see. So you can explain it, you can talk while you're doing it, and then this is also an opportunity. We're not beating anyone up. We're just going to provide positive feedback of ways we think each other can improve their schools. All right, so as soon as our new location is up and running here in the next week, you'll get a video from me as well. You can check out our new location and why I built it the way I did to understand the flow of everything. All right, guys, so again, this is Donovan with Martial Arts Business Made Easy. Today we went over the Studio Sensory package. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, ask below, and I would love to help you. All right, guys, see ya.